my older sister was like, Mom, Catherine fell again. And my mom didn't say nothing, you know, she didn't come or say anything. And then it wasn't until my sister said, Mom, Catherine's bleeding.
Is there blood involved?
Yep. So she came and it was so that was fun.
I've never tried that one. That's interesting.
Here we are in another year.
Talk about like, ooh.
We had the shower curtain that was like bolted to the wall, so I was always in there hanging on it, like I was the trapeze artist. And my dad would be like, "What are you doing in there? I don't hear any water." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just in a minute, Daddy, in a minute."
We saw Tarzan.
Okay.
And so my sister that's 2 years younger than I shared a room, and we had 2 twin beds. So the 2 twin beds against the wall, and the fan was in the middle of the room. And so we decided we were going to do Tarzan. And so we jumped from one bed up, grabbed the fan, and it was moving, and sailed to the other bed and dropped, you know. So we were doing that, you know.
I can totally see my brain thinking that at that age.
And we got caught, got in trouble. And then we saw a Brady Bunch where I think it was the boys where they divided the room. Mm-hmm. And so we didn't like each other. We still don't really like each other, but so we tried to put chalk down the carpet to like divide the room in half, right? So that didn't work. So we got paint. So we painted the carpet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I got in trouble for that. And then,
kidding.
And then, so that didn't work. So we still wanted to be separate, right? So she decided that she was going to start sleeping on the toy box in the closet. And that was before they put vents in the closet. We were in South Louisiana.
Ooh.
And so, she would sleep. You know, it probably went on about 6 weeks before my parents realized that she was sleeping in the closet. And then I got in trouble, and I'm like, that was her idea.
Okay, I'm not the mama here, right?
Yeah, she wanted to go to the closet. I just said, okay, you can have the closet. I'll take the bedroom.
There you go.
Yeah. It was, we had a lot, you know. I'm like, that's why I'm like, if we'd all been boys, I'm like, what would we have been like? I thought we got in enough trouble with.
My brother and I were sedate compared to you girls. I don't remember ever getting in trouble.
Yeah, what?
My mom's siblings kind of tell
beer this
stories.
is?
You want to try this?
Yeah. Oh, it's ginger. That's what I'm tasting is the ginger. Because I'm like, it's kind of like a strange aftertaste. So it's the ginger in it that it's good. Tastes like apples.
Okay.
Get that for you?
I got it. Well, just because they're really short and she had to put things on them to make them longer.
Okay.
I don't usually do this long. So he was like, are you going to be able to work on the computer when you go to work? And I'm like,
Yeah, if it, like this one is past my phone, I need to trim that because I don't like
yeah.
that. Yeah, but and that's
So
all
I'm
we
like-
do all day now is use a keyboard.
Well, I usually don't do this long. And I'm like, okay, so I wear contacts. I'm like, okay, so, you know. And so she's like, you know, I was like, okay, I'll do it. And so I did it, and I didn't think about the computer. And I'm like, okay, well, that'll be fun. I'll figure it out, you know. But it's like,
You have to curl your things and go more.
no,
Because then you end up really hitting them with your nails.
that hurts. So, so I did it yesterday afternoon, so I'm still getting like used to. It'll take a couple of days before I get used to it. Then it'll be okay. Cause she was like, "You want them really long?" And I'm like, "No." And then she's like, "Well, you know, they'll grow out." And I'm like, Okay, and I'll end up cutting them really because usually mine are short like yours. Because I'm like, I can't.
Well, I used to wear one, but now that I have to use a keyboard all the time, it's like like I said, I just can't stand that noise and how it feels. And,
Yeah, because it like ricochet.
yeah. There's something about it. Apparently, I'm getting a manicure Wednesday. Yeah, my older daughter's taking me. She goes, "She's ready to get a manicure."
Just preliminary kiss up. Keeping a puppy.
Yeah, I was kind of like, yeah, okay. I'm like, wonder where this is coming from. Like, oh, yeah, Mother's Day. But they're going to be out of town Mother's Day because we're getting their dog for Mother's Day, which we left because we got the dog for our anniversary last year too. I'm not liking this pattern.
What kind of dog?
It's a Boston Terrier. And he really is the sweetest, best little dog I've ever been around. But it's just like, the dog.
When I lived in Dallas, my daughter lived with me, and we got 2 puppies, and one of them has bonded with me, and one of them bonded with her. And when I moved here, I ended up with the one that bonded me, and so we split them up, and so I have a new job now where I travel all the time, and so she's got them both, so they're back together. And I was really worried when we separated them how they were going to do because we got them the same day, and so
They're half sisters, half brother.
yeah,
Okay.
not the same litter, same dad, not the same knob,
Okay.
but they'd been together all their life, and it was about 18 months when we separated them, and it took a little for them to adjust to it, and so like in January they went back to the one that I had went back to live with her brother and my daughter, and I'm like, how's it going, and she's like, at the very first she said, yeah, they both realized they like being only children.
Yeah. I bet.
Because I was worried about, sibling.
Yeah.
But,
Interesting.
so she's at a Renaissance Festival right now. And she's supposed to meet her friends, and they were 2 hours late. She's like, I'm still leaving at such and such time because by the time I get home, they would have been crated for 8 hours. She works, and so they get crated every day anyway. So it's like she feels bad about.
I work from home now, and when my son-in-law came in and set up the dog crate, which I haven't taken it down since the last visit, he set it up in my office, and I'm like, well, that's okay. I didn't really think anything about it, and that's where the dog sleeps, so we sleep on the other side of the house. And the dog has a noise machine, but he gets a little needy at times through the day. And my son-in-law works from home too, but somehow he deals with the vet. He just, well, I just toss him in his crate sometimes. I said, yeah, but somebody put the crate in my work office. And he goes, oh yeah, I did. I said, yeah, you did, honey.
Well,
You could shift it to the other room.
He goes, I bet you could move it. I said, well, I guess, but now he knows that's where
that's his
stuff
room.
is.
Yeah, that's his room.
He knows that's where his crate is and his toys, which we have cats. Now the cats don't like him. The cats are old and set in their ways. And thank God they're declawed because they walk up to me and just smack him. And he's just like, what? I breathe air.
Oh, I do.
So, but he gets into the cat toys. So I just have to pick up like the furry. He loves the furry mice. Well, they play with the furry mice. You can't have those.
Yeah.
But yeah, he thinks the cat toys are his. And he gets the basket. He takes every last toy out of that basket. I'll pick them up, and I turn my back, and he's got them all back out. I'm like, dude. I'm like, yeah, we don't bring toys in for him. You have toys. But yeah, it's his room. He knows where his crate is. He knows all his stuff is there. But yeah, one day I had a webinar. It was 3 hours long, and about 2 hours in, he's just sitting there looking at me going, hold me. Well, when talk to me, I'm like, no, dude, I can't. I'm like a 3-hour webinar.
I worked for my previous job when she was with me. I worked from home 2 days a week.
Okay.
So I went to the office 3 days a week, but I had somebody that would come and walk her.
Right.
A little girl that would come and walk her. And so she's very protective of me.
Okay.
And so I'm in a townhome, so I'm up on the third floor with where my office is, and